talk about. Mokua, tell us, what's your overview of the last 4 years?
Well, I look at it from a political science perspective, that the primary responsibility of a head of state or head of government is to maintain 3 levels of stability. The first one, you must have a political stability, economic stability, and military or security stability. And if you look at many countries across Africa, they've had those challenges. So President Ruto has been able to do that. And in the composition of his administration, right from Kenya Kwanza, you had the people who actually understand what statecraft is all about. Most administrations in Africa hardly have people who understand what statecraft is. And you can go all the way to South Sudan, you can go all the way to Senegal, where the leadership have got challenges with statecraft, and their personal interests normally take a front seat, and the people get frustrated. Like, for instance, in the composition of the Kenya Kwanza administration, you see people who really understand how a state is supposed to be run. But having said all that, the Gen Z stands out as a stain in the reputation of President Ruto's administration, while it's the case that he's hit almost all the high notes on issues of socio-economic development, but on issue of abduction, there's a big responsibility. And either by acts of omission or commission, the people that he has given the responsibility have let him down. Because for a Kenyan, when the president is sworn into office, he places his hand on the Bible and the Kenyan Constitution, and he says he's going to secure lives and properties within the territory of Kenya. So the buck stops with him. So even if the people is given responsibility, maybe he's nominated them, they go through the National Assembly, now they're occupying office, if they do not deliver, he's got the unique responsibility of telling them to pack and go, or making them resign. So the buck stops with them. I mean, one would easily say that we've got an independent National Police Service, that the buck stops with the IG, but Kenyans did not elect the IG. Kenyans elected President William Samoei Ruto, and the buck stops with him. So Kenyans have got very valid expectations that when he was sworn into office, he said he's protecting lives and properties, he must do that. And if there is anybody within his administration, either by acts of omission or commission, or even sabotage wants to frustrate him, then the person must take responsibility. And I'd like to buttress a point raised by I don't know whether you're my relative. Yeah. But what Mr. Rigathi Gachagua has been doing from the time he was impeached, in my view, is some sort of a blessing in disguise. Because you remember, while Mr. Raila Odinga was around, he was probably the only Kenyan who would check the administration of the day on so many issues. But with his exit, you have Mr. Rigiji, who seems to be doing a very good job. And in my view, when he comes up with misinformation and disinformation, like he did yesterday, and I'd like to advise him to read Proverbs 18:12. Because it captures exactly what he said yesterday. Then it gives the administration the responsibility to come up and correct facts. And I've been saying this times above number from Mount Kilimanjaro. This time I want to go to Mount Kenya and say, if we do not fight misinformation and disinformation, then misinformation and disinformation is going to compromise next year's elections, and we may end up electing leaders not on material facts, but because of emotion. What
misinformation was delivered yesterday?
Like, for instance, he spoke, I'll pick one. He spoke about the ownership of Nairobi Hospital. And without going into the details, Nairobi Hospital is owned by members. It's not possible for one individual to own that kind of facility. But you see, for people who do not know the articles of association or the memorandum of association of the Kenya Hospital Association, in fact, they'll believe that the Nairobi Hospital has been taken over by an individual.
What did Rigathi Gachagua say?
He spoke about ownership and interests.
No, what did he say that would now make you want to counter that Nairobi Hospital is not owned by an individual? What did he say?
No, that it's been taken over by President Ruto. Yeah, and it's owned by members. And every member has got one right. I mean, if say you are 1,000 members, one vote. So it's not possible that one person can actually have a same majority or preferential shareholding. But we must give him still credit, because when he comes up with these statements, then it makes people to be on their toes.